Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Ultimate Recap. This week, I'll be interviewing Danielle Kamela. And she, if you guys watched last week's episode, she was the opponent for Ashley D'Amboise. So, before I introduce her to you, let's see a highlight reel of her.
My name is Danielle Kamela. I'm a former WWE superstar, former Cardinals cheerleader, and former Suns dancer.
Vanessa is also a fan of trash-talking her opponents.
No one can stand out more than me.
Danielle Kamela has never been one to shy away from the spotlight. Her journey to the wrestling ring might be unconventional, but the Scottsdale native has been a performer for a long time.
XOXO, the most popular girl in professional wrestling, Danielle Kamela.
Welcome, everybody, the vision herself, Danielle Kamela. Hi, Danielle.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. It's great to see you. Am I saying your name right, Kamela, last name?
Kamela, yes, you're good.
Okay, good. I want to be sure, okay? Because I know I butchered Ashley's name, so I feel so bad about that. I was really excited because when I saw your birthday, March 18th, it made me happy because I'm a Pisces.
That's awesome. We're literally the best.
Aren't we? Do you follow astrology?
I do a little bit. Like, I don't necessarily agree with like the day-to-day predictions, but overall, like, my personality is completely true to a Pisces personality. So
I like to see it as like a guideline of like how we can be. And then I find it, I'm like looking at it and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, that does sound like me. No, I don't want that to be me. So it's like, okay, maybe I need to be aware of these things about myself.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm the same way.
Oh my goodness. But I'm glad I have somebody on the same page as me and that we're Pisces.
Definitely gotta stick together.
And that's my brother's birthday too. You have my brother's birthday. So I'm gonna be celebrating your birthday every year.
Amazing. Perfect.
What a small world. Okay. And where were you born, actually? I'm curious.
Scottsdale, Arizona. Yeah.
Oh, that's why you love it so much.
Yep. It's my hometown. I love it. You can't beat it. It's just a great quality of life here in Scottsdale.
You would never move anywhere else?
I have lived other places. Like I lived in LA, I lived in Orlando, Cleveland, Texas. But so far, Arizona is my favorite.
Is all your family there?
Yes. So I have 3 younger brothers. They're here. My parents are here. So it's nice to be close to family. I'm super close with my family. So
is it like do you have cousins, aunts and uncles and everything like out there? Or is it just your brothers and your mom? Your mom and dad?
Yeah, my mom and dad. So I do have some cousins out here as well, but I'm Polynesian, specifically Samoan. So my family is huge, but there's so many cousins like I haven't met all over the world. So
I bet.
big family.
Oh my goodness. I love it. Yeah. So, I went down into your Instagram and I know you love your family. I saw this picture of your mother and she was so badass. She was so jacked. Oh, yeah. And I had to ask about that because she looked phenomenal. Holy cow.
Yeah, so she's always been super active, loves taking care of her body. So I definitely get that from her. But she was Miss Arizona in powerlifting. So she was a powerlifter. So yeah, she killed it. She was ripped. She had like a 6-pack. I'm pretty sure she can lift heavier than me. But she has a more Samoan genes, and Samoans are like strong. So I'm trying to like get up to her weight, but I forget what her deadlift record is, but it's like ridiculous.
Oh my goodness. How many years like later did she have you?
So I think when she competed, she was like 27 and then she had me around like 30, 31. So
Was that like a big thing? Did she continue like the athleticism, like specifically like training? Did she tell you like, okay, just to encourage you, like, come on, honey, let's go train together, or anything like that?
No, she definitely after that, like she had me and then she had my 3 younger brothers. So she doesn't really lift too much anymore. She likes, those hit style workout classes. She ran track like a few years ago, played
Oh my
soccer. So
goodness.
she still does,
Wow.
sports and things like that in her age.
I don't know. It seems like she maybe somehow unknowingly encouraged that in you, because you seem just as athletic as she is. Like, it seems like it's a family trait, maybe.
Oh, definitely. And like growing up with like 3 younger brothers, like all we did was play sports. Like I was total tomboy. So yeah, she definitely, and my dad definitely encouraged us, growing up to try all sorts of different sports, which was fun. Like in my childhood, I loved doing all of that.
That makes me happy. Did you compete with your brothers?
Oh yeah, we still compete to this day. Like, I mean, we're not like going out there like playing soccer, football, or anything, but like bowling, darts, those type of games, we always get into it.
Oh my goodness. And how old is the oldest youngest brother? Like, the difference between you two?
So between all of us, it's only like a year and a half. So she like knocked it
Oh.
out.
Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, so
Oh
we're all
my
super
goodness.
close.
She's like, now, so then I could just get back to do my thing.
Yeah, true, true. It was
Oh,
a good
do you guys get along? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, we definitely all get along. We're like super close. They're like my besties. Yeah, so it's great.
Oh, that's good to hear. Because every time I go, like, I'm close with my brother. So, I mean, that wasn't the case when we were younger, until like older. But you hear a lot of stories, and I talk to people, and they're like, I wish I was close to my sibling like you are. And it's like, oh my goodness, like, I didn't realize that there's people out there, they really can't stand their siblings.
Oh my gosh, I
So
know.
I always have to ask.
No, it's so true. I've talked to a lot of people too that will see, my family or interactions and be like, "Oh, I wish I like had that with mine." So I feel like really lucky that we are super close. We've stayed close and like I mean, those are the people that have been with you through it all, because we're all like around the same age, so we grew up like yeah. Mad love for them. Yes, yeah.
I wanted to know, since you have three brothers, if they were ever protective of you. Like, do they
Um,
get all crazy if a guy comes home and they're like, "Who's this guy?"
Honestly, they're not really like that. I'm more of the protective one. So like if any of my brothers, whenever they have a girlfriend or date someone, I am always like on the defense. You know what I mean? Until they like prove themselves. So I'm more of the protective one, I should say.
Oh, that's so sweet. I think it's sweet. The girlfriends probably don't, but
No, no, they are always scared. But then once they win me over,
somebody should be.
I'll soften up.
So, like, are you demanding when it comes to you and your brothers? It's like, are you the aggressive one, and are they more passive, or?
I'm definitely the bossy one. I've been bossing them around since we were kids. Like
Oh my goodness, I
no,
love
and
it.
they're the sweetest. I mean, I know they get annoyed with my bossiness, but they've kind of
They
just
love you.
yeah.
I'm sure they couldn't imagine like life without you. Like, you are the anchor.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So there wasn't any like crazy fights. Like, I'm curious about like the whole dynamic of having like multiple siblings, because I only have my brothers, just the two of us. So having multiple siblings, I'm just curious. It's like, is there any time like they ever ganged up on you because you're the only free female, or did you just really, because of your bossiness, they knew where they
Yeah,
stood?
they never ganged up on me. I mean, obviously, like growing up as kids, like we would like fight and stuff like that and like wrestle around, like do all of that. But they never ganged up on me. So usually I have like one of them on my side. So it's like a fair like
Oh,
but
good. That makes my heart happy. See, somebody has to have your back.
I know, right?
So when it comes to your family background and seeing how your mother did the weightlifting and everything, where do you think your creativity and your ambition and everything comes from? Do you think it comes from like your mother, your family background, having multiple siblings? Do you think it all comes from family?
I think it's a combination because all of my siblings, we're all fairly like creative. We all have kind of out of the box jobs. And
Really?
yes, yes. So they're like entrepreneurs. One of them sells stuff on Amazon. Another one is an artist. Another one's a content creator. He makes like Christian content and prays for people on Instagram.
Oh,
So yeah, I think it's like a combination, but we all like just coming up with ideas, and they're like the best to like brainstorm with and things like that. So I think it is just like a family affair when it comes to our creativity.
I love that. I love that so much. And it seems like you guys support one another, right? I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Oh, because I saw a picture and I think, I'm not sure where it was, but I think they came out, like your brothers came out to support you in it. Let's see if I have that picture so you can see it.
Okay.
Because if they do, if they're there supporting you in everywhere you go, then I think that's like the sweetest thing ever. Like this one.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was like the very first wrestling match I ever had in front of people.
Oh my goodness. And they
That's
were there. See? That's what I love. Were they proud of you?
Oh yeah, yeah. They were like shocked because this was when I first started wrestling. So I'd been training and they haven't seen anything I've done. And they were like, oh my gosh.
You were shocked.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that first thing, that first moment when they see it. It's like, yeah, I heard you talk about it, but seeing it is a whole different thing.
Oh yeah. I feel like everyone has that reaction, right? Like
Yeah. Right. So when you graduated high school, what did you think, like in that moment in time, what did you think you were going to do like right after?
in high school, I was a part of this thing called Firebird Word, and it was like the morning news segment. So I always saw myself being a sports broadcaster. Sports is like my passion. I love it. I'm a diehard fan for all of my teams here in Arizona. So that's what I saw myself kind of getting into. Or my other dream job was I wanted to be a host on the Travel Channel. So I was like either sports or like travel. Um, but when I signed up for college, like, they had you pick your major, like, right off, the jump, and I was like, "Maybe I'll try psychology." I have no idea why I decided to, like, pivot like that. It was so strange. So, I signed up to be, like, a psychology major, and then after yeah.
I love that so much.
Yes, but after the first, like, semester, I was like, "No, I need to get back into what I wanted to do, and which was being on TV, which was sports broadcasting." Um, so then I decided to try to switch over, but at that point, my GPA was so bad because I screwed around, honestly, my first year of college. I was doing college
Happens.
yeah, and I went to Arizona State, so,
Yeah.
we party a lot there.
Oh my goodness. I
Yeah.
can't imagine because that's what I figure like college is kind of for. It's just getting to know what you really want to do. And then there's so many activities and so many people. I couldn't imagine how you couldn't get distracted.
Oh, yeah, it took me 5 years to graduate, so I was definitely distracted that first year.
Oh my goodness. But I love that you went and you did it. Like that this is the thing. It's all about the experience. You learn stuff and you learn so much by doing, because from what I've seen, you have done so much, like when it comes to the cheerleading and the broadcasting, all these things that you've done, it taught you so much. And now you know what you want to do, and now you know what like the path that you feel like you need to take. And where's my phone? So I have these pictures of you. Look how beautiful you are.
Gosh, thank you.
You have the look. And it's no surprise that you like went on and you did like the cheerleading, which I need to ask you about. But I love looking at all these pictures because look.
Tune into Fox Sports Arizona and FoxSportsArizona.com for the latest news on the D-backs run for the playoffs. Don't miss our D-backs as they slug it out with the Rockies on Fox Sports Arizona. Where can you find a new Honda under 15 grand and 0% financing? Right here at Showcase Honda. We don't waste your time with gimmicks or games.
So when I first decided I wanted to be a cheerleader, part of it was because I wanted to get into sports broadcast. So I thought it would give me kind of an inside look if I was able to be on the sidelines. I'd get to see the broadcasters and kind of just, be in that environment. So I decided I would go out for the Arizona Cardinals cheer team. And at the time, I was not a professionally trained dancer. I was a gymnast growing up. Yes. So it definitely was a little bit of a learning curve because I had to kind of teach myself technique and things like that. So I went out and tried out for the team. I think I was like 19 and I didn't end up making it. So I was super bummed. But I mean, I just didn't make it. It was what it was. Um, so after that, the Phoenix Suns, they also have a dance team. So I was like, okay, well, the Cardinals, I didn't make the Cardinals, but let's try out for the Phoenix Suns dance team. So I went out and tried out for the Phoenix Suns dance team, and I didn't make it either.
Oh, oh my God. I was like, yes. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my goodness.
2 minor failures back to back, but Cardinals cheer tryouts rolled around the next year as they do every year. So I was like, okay, I can't give up on this. It's like, it's what I set out to do. It's what I want to do. So I tried out a second time for the Cardinals and ended up making it.
I was like, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Oh, no. Yeah. So I was so happy. I was so excited that like at that point I was like, oh my God, this is like the best thing ever. I still remember because they like show your pictures, like it's a slideshow of who made the team. So you're just like waiting and like watching for your picture. So it was exciting.
Oh,
And
I love that though. See,
yeah.
it shows how you overcame. Like you're like, okay, I didn't make it, but I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna like work on train. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna try again. And then still, you didn't let that stop you, and you went, and then you got it. Like that shows everybody. So everybody at home, whether it's a job that you're trying to get an interview for, you're trying to get, or if it's something like wrestling or anything you're doing, don't let the first time stop you because you work at it and you can make it. You can do it. I'm so proud of you, Danielle. I love those stories.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the type of person that I think in the future, like I don't want to be someone who looks back and like regrets not doing things or like giving up or like this and that. So I think that's always been my mentality. And I'm like really stubborn. So I was like, no, I have to make this team at some point.
Oh my goodness. You know, people could see it as a bad trait, but I see it as a good trait, you know?
So yeah, it was
You're
at that point.
determined. It's not stubborn, determined.
Yes, that's the right word to use.
Well, actually, going back, because when you said gymnastics, it's like it made me realize, holy cow. Okay, so when did you do gymnastics? We're gonna find out everything about you.
Okay. I want to say I started when I was like 7 years old. And then
What?
yeah, I was young.
I
So
did
that
not know this.
yeah, it made me fall in love with it. Um,
Oh,
but it got to a point, I think I quit when I was like 11 or 12, where I was just so miserable. It was so demanding. I was training like 5 hours every single day.
oof.
I know. I would like go home and like cry because they were like
Oh.
training as a gymnast, like they are so strict. I mean, it prepared me for other sports, like, like training for professional wrestling. Like, I'm like, you guys can yell at me, you could do whatever. This is not gonna like, I am fine. Gymnastics like prepared me for that type of like coaching.
Well, they have those like have you seen documentaries where it's like it's intense, like the eating's intense, the training's intense, like it's just, and to think that these are children that are doing this, and I bet you it's hard for an adult. So I couldn't imagine being a child and going through it. I mean, it's beautiful though, and I'm sure it's very gratifying, but that's
Intense.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and I think like too, like that imposed like a certain perfectionism in me, like starting because gymnastics is all about being perfect. So that's something like I personally like have to work on is stop being such a perfectionist. It was a good background too, though, like going into professional wrestling because I feel like I'm very aware of my body, super athletic. Like I could do a lot of stuff, which I have yet to show, but I'm glad I did have that gymnastics background for sure.
one day when everybody doesn't realize it. And that's the best part because if you do everything all at once, and especially in wrestling, if you showcase it all, then there's nothing left up your sleeve, there's nothing to show. So you're
Oh, yeah.
just making everybody wait for the perfect time.
I have a million things up my sleeves.
That's good. Oh my goodness. Everybody just throws it all out there and it's like, okay, I already seen you do everything. What's next? I'm bored. But with you, I'm like, okay, let's see. And especially knowing you have this gymnastics background.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Well, talking about that, like now I want to know, like, what got you into wrestling then? Like, how did you go from cheerleading to acting and all this stuff to wrestling?
Yes. So after I cheered for the Cardinals, I ended up retrying out for the Phoenix Suns and making that team as well. So I was able to check both of those boxes. And then from there, I ended up getting into sports broadcast like I had wanted. And I worked for Fox Sports Arizona for about 5 years, doing like their on air commercials and covering different events around Arizona and going to games. So that was so much fun. But after 5 years, they dissolved that position. So I was like, all right, this is my time to like move to LA and do that whole thing. Yeah, act, audition. I am a storyteller. That is what I enjoy doing. So when I was living in LA, I saw a casting call for this show called Tough Enough. And you know about Tough Enough.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. So for me, I was like, oh, I don't want to do reality TV. That's like not in the cards for me. It never has been. But I was like, if I could win a contract with the WWE, that would be totally worth it because I grew up watching wrestling. And I always thought like the divas were so badass. Like I was like, this is the coolest thing. Yes. Yes. I was like enamored. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. But I think with like professional wrestling, sometimes you think like, oh, that's way too like far fetched. Like, yeah, that would be cool, but like that's not gonna happen to me. Like, I'll never do something like that.
Was it an audition or how?
It was basically kind of like a tryout, except they had like some other elements in it because it was like reality TV. Like we were like cutting promos, we had to walk out in the ring in a bikini, like things like that for the tryout. Uh, I know.
What does the bikini have to do with like wrestling?
I don't know. I think I cut my promo in a bikini. I think we all did, but that was a while ago. So, anyways, I know there was a point I was wearing a bikini.
But you know what? But it's the company where I'm like, why'd you guys do that? I know it's for entertainment, and like they taught us that it's all about if somebody was tuning in, switch like channel surfing, that they want the people to stop and watch, and
Yes.
that's why they do certain things because the facts just show that viewers stop in these moments and then they start watching. So I blame the viewers. You guys encouraged us. So you encouraged the platform to do it. Did you win? Did they say like hell yeah? You like come on in.
No, so I did the tryout and it was so hard. It was just really hard. But anyways, so they told me like we don't want you for the show, but we definitely see potential in you. So we want you to come back for another tryout, like a regular tryout, not like the for Tough Enough or reality TV, just a regular in-ring tryout. So I was super excited. I was like, okay, I guess I have another chance.
Yes.
Yeah. So I found a wrestling school in LA, Knox Pro, Rikishi's school, and I went over there just to make sure that like I liked it. Do you know what I mean? Because I had never done any kind of training, nothing like that. So I started training at his school to kind of get ready for the tryout, and I ended up falling in love with wrestling. So I was like, okay, this is amazing.
And that's great because in a lot of things in life, a lot of people just jump into something and then they realize, holy cow, this is not my thing. And, you go so far that you can't turn back and you end up being miserable. But at
Yeah.
least here, you dip your toe in the water and then you realize, okay, I want to jump in.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, wrestling, it's one of the hardest things I've ever done. There's so much that, goes on with it, but I love it. And I went back for my second tryout and then they ended up signing me and I moved to Orlando like a few months later. So that's how I started wrestling.
Oh my goodness. You had to, that makes me so happy that you had to have loved it because look, you went from Arizona, moved all the way out
Oh, yeah.
to Florida.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
and
fun.
so how'd you feel about it? Like to me, I guess I'm imagining that you loved everything about it, the physicality, the storytelling, to being able to dress up and you could do anything really in wrestling. And that's the beautiful part of it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're reacting off of a crowd. Like there's just so many aspects of it. But yeah, it definitely combines everything I love. So, it's this love story that'll never end. It's never over.
It's never over. It always brings you back.
Every time. Yeah.
Well, how was the experience at NXT? Like I saw like you were with Aaliyah and everything. Like you guys were so cute. I loved it so much.
Oh yeah. It was great. Like, I loved being a part of NXT. I do really well off of structure. When I'm bored, I don't do well. Like, I like the regimen and training, like having a schedule and things like that. It was good for me. And oh my gosh, I learned so much from everyone, from the trainers to my peers. Like, it was great. And I loved tagging too. Like, I didn't know too much about tag wrestling until I started, tagging often, and it was so fun. So that's like another aspect of wrestling that I love. I love tag wrestling. So yeah, it was really fun when Aaliyah and I were tagging together. Like we would just have, it was just so fun. That's all I could say.
It sounds like a really great experience. You learned a lot, you had fun, and that's the best place to learn. Actually, like we have shows every week. Like you practice, train, and then have shows every week. I mean, and you get paid for that.
Yeah, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, we had shows. Yeah. Oh yeah, my dad's always like, your job is so easy. You just get paid to work out. I'm like, okay, it's not easy, but I guess I kind of am getting paid to work out.
After WWE, what were your thoughts? Like, did you want to continue wrestling, or you're like, I'm going to take a break?
I kind of was like, I need to get away from wrestling for like a while. Like, I can't even watch it. I can't, like, I was just in like this dark place. But like we were talking about earlier, it always like calls you back. Like, wrestling will never be over for me. Like, there's not going to be a moment where I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, I can't even say that because I know I will want to come back and I will want to wrestle because I truly love it. So I did take a little time off after that. And then I was like, let me just like go train, and see like how I feel. And once you're back in that ring, you're like, oh my God, like I love this. Like I miss it. Yeah. So now I'm like, I'm back. Yeah.
So what did you do? Because I saw that was it ROH? And what other like promotions did you go to as soon as you were like, you know what, I got to go back? It's
right.
all-
Yeah, so I did some shows with Knox Pro in California because that's the school I started at. So anytime they want me to come out, like I'm always going to do that. And then I found a wrestling school here in Arizona, PCW, or they have a promotion called PCW, Phoenix Championship Wrestling. So whenever they have shows, like I always want to do those as well. So I'm pretty choosy with like the bookings I do. So I would work with them, and then I've gone in for AEW and Ring of Honor a few times as well. And then Ultimate Women's Wrestling. This is kind of one of the first, like, outside of my school's bookings that I've taken.
Oh, Ultimate Women's Wrestling?
Yeah.
And we're lucky to have you, by the way. And since you brought them up, I do want to talk about that too, because now that's the first time I've seen you work. So, and I'm slow, and I'm sorry. Like, some people would be like, what? You don't know who I am? You don't know anything about me? No, I don't know. I'm telling everybody that. I don't know. I haven't been watching wrestling. As soon as I was out, I was like, peace.
Yeah.
I did it for so long. That was my life. I ate, breathed, and just, slept it. So I had to distance myself for just a little bit, and then come back. And now, like, I'm starting to get back into it. And I mean, everything happens for a reason, because now this was like the first all-women show I've seen in so long that I was so pleasantly surprised, and I loved watching you because I love aggression. I love aggression. Because to me, when you see like women fight, they get crazy. Your claws come out, that face comes out, and it's like, oh, you're gonna die type of stuff. Like, you just screwed up.
I'm going for the hair. Can't help it.
Oh my, I love it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do that. And then they tell me to break. I'm like, I have 5. I know the rules. I'm gonna utilize it.
Yeah, every time.
I think there was a moment where that was happening with you. I'm like, doesn't she know it's illegal? And in my mind, I was thinking, duh. Of course she knows it's illegal. She knows, and she doesn't care.
Yeah, I mean, you got to use whatever you can.
Right. Especially, let me break out the phone, but especially after everything like she did to you. I'm not saying she did it on purpose. I'm just saying
she definitely did it on purpose. She's jealous.
I mean, you were bleeding. We were all concerned. It was kind of this crazy thing where we didn't even know what happened. And Aaron Phillips is like, she's bleeding. And I said, really? I don't see it. And then you turn around. It's like, oh my God, there it is. All that blood. So it was off of this move right here,
Oh,
and I
yep.
slowed it down.
Oh, yeah.
You got some height on that,
I did. I freaking flew.
right? I was like, there she goes. I was so impressed with the height, but when it came to all the blood that came out,
You see it?
Yeah, you're right.
There you go. 2 count.
Oh my gosh, she is bleeding.
look at how you put on
It's a
that.
good thing I got a new glass
That
prescription.
chin
I was
lock.
able to see that from
You
this far.
swung it around her.
Look at her
Look
face,
at
the
your
intensity.
face.
Hopefully it's only
But it
superficial.
always
doesn't get in
works.
her eyes. That's a nice rear chin
Look at
lock.
the intensity. You didn't even care. You didn't even care when it came to the blood. You were like, oh, I'm gonna choke you out. You're
I know.
done.
In the moment, I didn't because I was just like pissed.
Did you
Well,
realize all that blood was coming down?
no, like I felt like my face hit like the metal, but I didn't know I was bleeding. I saw like a little blood on my hands. I was like, oh, like maybe I'm cut. And then thinking in my head, like, is my face messed up? Like I was just getting like angrier and angrier. I'm like, no, you're gonna take away the thing I need the most, like my moneymaker.
Oh my goodness. I
Yeah.
just like you did such a great job, even with that picture right there, the intensity. You're like, oh, I loved it so much. And again, I have to show everybody videos
Oh
like
yeah.
this one right here. And this was before you got, well, no, actually, this was just after you got injured. So just to ask, when you felt that the post like hit your face, did that make you like you felt the adrenaline from that and that fused you, or it didn't even matter because you were just that angry with her because you
I
know
mean, I'm definitely already angry with her, but that took it up like a bunch of notches for sure.
watch
'Cause
everybody.
2 or 3 counts of the foul count. Now she's
Knee to the
back
back. You're choking her.
off the far ropes.
Oh,
Right
that
on
was
the-
a good follow-up.
Yeah, right off the top of the back there. Gets her neck on the ropes. Now,
Oh, what is this? Oh my goodness.
I've never seen anything like. What is?
Oh, I am impressed. I know this is wrong, but I am impressed by this.
That's a very
That's
innovative
something
move,
I would
Kat.
do.
Yeah.
That is everything to me. Like you want to make somebody suffer. Did this stem because when I found out that you guys had just a little bit of history,
Yeah.
did that if like affect you when it came to that match that night?
Yeah, definitely, because I found out that we were having the match probably like, I don't know, a few hours before the show. And I was like, okay, perfect, because we had a match in Ring of Honor. And I don't know how she got the win over me, but she did. And so I was I was still angry about that. So I was like, all right, here's my time, to even the score, if you will. But of course, because of my face, I think she was able to take advantage of the fact I couldn't like really see properly, and I was a little flustered, and so she got the win that night too. So Ashley is a person who's definitely on my shit list for multiple reasons, but I have to have I I have to have another match against her because I just can't let her have these 2 wins on me because she's not better than me. So
So you're
she
gonna
has
have a talk with Rampage about it, like saying, okay, this needs to be done. We need a rematch because we need to show her who is the top girl here.
you're right,
Especially
definitely.
not even the top girl. You're like, just for this moment in time, I just want to mess with you.
Yeah, that really is the thing, is just I just have her on my mind. Like, yeah, I want a chance at the title and all of that, but like I have to close this chapter with her and get the win on her, and then I can like move on to that. But you're right, I should be like DMing Rampage and telling him to make this happen.
What did you think when you found out that he was our CEO?
When I found out it was him, I was like, okay, like perfect. Like he is such a badass. Like he's awesome. He's a star, so he's gonna see that quality in me and make sure I'm always getting matches. So I was happy to see that he was in charge of everything.
Okay, I just want to show everybody. Sorry to go back, but there's this moment in time where they announced that it was because she touched your face that you got upset.
And see, I didn't
Was-
even remember that, but it makes all the sense in the world. And now that you've showed me that, I definitely think Ashley did it on purpose. I had thought that from the beginning, like that she was trying to mess with my face because she's jealous. So I was mad about it before, and she came back and like did that to me. So it all makes sense. She's fooling everyone with her niceness.
Maybe she is nice. Like, she seems nice. When I talk to her, she seems nice. Maybe it's just she has to be aggressive in the ring. Just like, you're aggressive in the ring. So I'm just saying, playing devil's advocate.
She seems fake, not nice, fake. So there's a difference, and I can see right through that. And you as a Pisces should be able to see through that too.
I'm in a position where I have to be Switzerland. I gotta be neutral here.
That's what you think right now, and you can't tell everyone that. So.
But then I'm the person that believes like keep your enemies close.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that's a decent strategy.
You gotta learn. There's so much I gotta teach you.
I know, that is true. That is true. You got a world of knowledge in there.
Oh my goodness. So I love hearing that again, your stubbornness, you're never going to give up. You're going to go back for Ashley because, until you get that win. And it's just like, when it came to cheerleading, first time, nope. Second time, nope. But third time, yes. Yes. And that's why I feel like you're going to get that win.
I want it soon too, because I think she just got engaged. So she's probably on such a high that like it's time for her to be knocked down a little bit.
Oh my God, I feel so bad because I love her, but at the same time, it's so good.
That is like the happiest
something I would do.
Life, and it's like now's time to strike.
Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. We're winning at life, but I'm gonna win in the ring next time. Just wait.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait till the next show. Oh my goodness. So she's just the one and you're focused on right now. You have no beef with any other girls? They're not even on your radar?
No, not yet. I mean, I haven't even really got a chance to know it. I've seen them around. Like I like to be aware of who's, in the scene, who I might potentially be fighting one day. But yeah, I don't really know too much about everyone else. And I don't really need to at this point. So they're just like around, they're just around. But
I guess what I'm gonna do is when I have you, if I get the chance to have you again, flash like pictures of each girl on the roster, and then you tell me what you think.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I'm really good at
be one word answers. Flash,
yeah,
and then it's like this, that, this.
Yep, and I'm always 100% accurate. So
you're gonna be fun. You're gonna be fun to tap back. So the last question is, if you have anything you'd like to say to Ashley at this moment.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, first of all, yes, congrats, Ashley, on your engagement. So happy for you. That is awesome. But secondly, you need to conduct yourself like a superstar. I saw a little bit of your interview with Melina, and you came on and you were just like, it looked like you rolled out of bed. You just had a black tank top, no makeup. Like, you can't be a superstar if you don't commit to being a superstar. So that's something I guess I could give her as a piece of advice. And then lastly, I'm so much looking forward to our next match because the tide is turning. I know you've been trying to shake my hand, but that's never going to happen. So you need to get that out of your head. I don't know why she's been saying this whole thing, like, why don't you shake my hand? Why don't you shake my hand? It's like, why do I need to? Like, I don't understand.
Did you shake her hand?
No, I don't want to touch her. Like, we touch each other in the ring because we have to. Like, I don't need any further contact from her. So anyways, that kind of sums it up. That was a little all over the place, but
so to let her know it's never going to happen. You're never going to touch her hand.
Right. Exactly. I'm never shaking your hand, Ashley.
But just because it's her or because you don't like shaking hands?
Both.
Get that out of my face.
Not in the ring. I mean, outside of the ring, yes, I'm a professional. I will shake hands, but
but that was outside of the ring though when she saw you in the locker room. So
well, no, she's my opponent. I mean, it does have a lot to do with her too. So I just want this chapter to end, like this Ashley chapter to end. So I need that last match. I need that win, and then we can all move on.
Look forward to seeing what Rampage says, because I know he's gonna think about it. He's like, you know what? This is going to be a good match. So to everybody at home, if you want to follow Danielle Kamela, you could go to daniellekamela.com and you'll find all the links you need right there. And is there any other place that you want to, that's not on the website?
I don't think so. I think all of my social handles are on there. So yeah, if you check out the website, you can find me, follow me. I'm the best leader. So yeah.
And you are the vision.
Yeah.
I love it. Everybody, you could follow, if you don't go, you could find daniellekamela.com, anything in the links below, in the description below, and also all the links to UWW. Danielle, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. So much fun.
Oh, I love you. You had fun with you too. And everybody watching at home. And everybody watching at home, thank you for watching this week. And I look forward to having the next episode next week and having you watch there too. Everybody have a great day. Love you. Mwah.